Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing All-Star Western, issue number 1. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, starring in All-Star Western is our good friend Jonah Hex, who is the unfortunate individual of a bad day of shaving his face. To be honest, I like the concept of Jonah Hex, and I like the character too, but I never really gave him that much of a chance. Which is interesting because, like I said, I like the character, I like the concept, and I like westerns in movies, but I really never read westerns in comics. Maybe it's because when I was younger I always thought about comics as a superhero medium. Whatever the case may be, I just never really gave westerns a chance. So, seeing that we have this relaunch going on, and we have an All-Star Western issue number 1, I think I should jump in and see if westerns can grip me in and bring me into their genre for comics, and hopefully get a nice fresh start with this issue. Whether or not that's going to happen is up in the air, but at least I'm going to try and see where things go, because with this relaunch I'm trying to make myself more diverse with what I read, and, well, there's only really one western comic out, might as well give it a chance. So let's jump into All-Star Western issue number 1. The issue is basically set up as such. Jonah Hex comes to Gotham, a very young Gotham, and coming to Gotham, he is hired to help out on a case. See, there's a bunch of prostitutes and young women getting killed, and then stuff written in blood over their head, stuff about fear and all that stuff, you know, whatever killers write down. Anyways, Jonah Hex has to team up with our good friend Arkham, and they have to figure out exactly who is killing all these young ladies, why they're killing them, and to what ends they're killing them. They go all about Gotham to figure this out. They go to the underworld of Gotham, they beat up a bunch of people in a bar, they go and they talk to some informants, they go to many different extents to try to figure out exactly who is killing these young girls. And while this is going on, Arkham is analyzing Jonah Hex, finds him to be a fascinating individual who is not only exciting to be with, but also very scary. So, will Jonah and Arkham be able to find out exactly who are behind all these murders? Or will Jonah Hex be way too out of his element in the big city, and it's really the Old West where he belongs? Well, you're just going to have to read and see. So let's jump into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, first and foremost is I really like the art in this. It really does give that old western gritty feel. Even though we're not technically in the West and we're in Gotham back in the day, it still gives you that old-fashioned feel, and I like that. From what I've seen and read of Jonah Hex, he feels very much in character here. Granted, I never read really any of his series. The most exposure I've had to him is some miscellaneous issues here and there, and stuff that I've seen on the animated shows. But then again, you cannot judge a character based on the animated shows. It's very, very, very unfair. But from what I've seen, this feels like Jonah Hex, and I like this Jonah Hex. Kind of badass, kind of gritty, doesn't take no for an answer, and has his own strong sense of code of honor and moral values. It may be a little weird, but he still has that strong sense. I find it interesting that they team him up with Arkham in this, and I think that they're a good odd couple. You have the psychoanalyst, the psychiatrist, the man who looks at the mind of the individual, and then you have Jonah Hex, who just doesn't give a shit at all. One bit. And I find it funny because I don't think Arkham can put his thumb on Jonah Hex, because Jonah is a constantly changing individual in his mind. Now Arkham will be like, well, I'm sure he won't do this, and then Jonah will do it. And you know, in different situations, I think Arkham is left hanging on exactly who Jonah Hex is. The story seems to be a good setup. I like the idea of it being a mystery. And I also like it being in Gotham, which is interesting because going into the bad, despite the fact that I like it being in Gotham, it says Western. Why am I in the city? But really, that's the only bad I can think of. If it was even a bad, it's not even really a bad. It's just a misleadingness. I thought this was an overall good issue. I thought this was a good issue into a genre that I don't usually explore into with comics. Jonah Hex is a fun character. The story is fun, and I'm interested to see where things go from here. What really makes this issue, what really makes me happy with this issue more than many other things is this is going to be one of the $3.99 issues. It's not going to be one of the $2.99 ones. But you feel like you get your money's worth because this is big, this is thick, and this has a lot of content in it. I was reading it at 1 in the morning. I believe 1 in the morning. It was 1 or 2 after I dropped my girlfriend's off. My girlfriend, I almost made it sound plural. Girlfriend off at our house, and I just said, you know what, I'll read this before I go to bed. And it was a lengthy read, and I enjoyed that. All-Star Western is a good comic, and I am definitely going to continue to picking up. It was fun, it was enjoyable, and I recommend it to anyone who wants to try out a Western comic. At the very least, what's interesting about this is Scott Snyder has been trying to make Gotham out to have its own character in the Batman books. And I think they're trying to add more history to Gotham, and I think Scott Snyder's in collaboration with All-Star Western to give us that little bit of history with Gotham, which is nice. So I like the fact that Gotham gets a little bit more history here. Definitely the best city in the DC universe. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Batman fan. I think it's because Gotham has so many twists and turns and so much to divulge into with it. It is a unique town. So, like I said, All-Star Western, good comic. Definitely recommend picking it up. That said, I'm going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.